Good day and welcome to the ISIS Oracle card for the 13th of March, or whenever you find this timeless message. You've reached Josh with the Mr. Floyd Channelings channel. And so I hope your universe is going well. We've scheduled a live channeling for the next Tuesday, which I believe is the 19th of March. I could be wrong. I'm not looking at the calendar and the phone's being used. But the next Tuesday coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, we'll do another live channeling on YouTube. And one day at a time. All right. And I'm getting ready to hang the shingle here, or hang my sign, so to speak, fly my sign. So if you want a one-on-one with Saint Germain, that'll be available as of probably later this week or early next week as well. We'll do it by Zoom. And so there we go. All right. So Isis Oracle card for today. The Dark Mysteries. Enter the chamber of the Dark Goddess. The Dark Goddess calls you to her inner chamber where she holds a test and a gift for you. The test is your willingness to meet and release the fears within that have been secretly holding you back. The gift is freedom, peace, opportunity, and prosperity in all its forms. Will you accept her call? Your time for deeper intuition is here. When the Dark Goddess calls you, it is a life changing experience. It is not always easy, but the rewards for those brave enough to answer her call and enter her inner chamber are tremendous indeed. The rewards are a life lived more fearlessly, the gift of loving and being just who you are in truth, without having to impress or bow to another out of fear or rejection. It is more open and expressive way to live, and it attracts the bounty of the Dark Mother, her gifts of love, opportunity, peace, and prosperity, well being, and wisdom. It takes a strong soul to go through this test into liberation, into the liberation it delivers, but you are ready, dear initiate of the light. Pardon me. The Dark Goddess calls your initiation when you have been working on your own shadow, bringing your whole self to light. During such times, we often need help, as shadow work can be uncomfortable, painful, or quite difficult to undertake, as we're working with unconscious material, trying to bring it to the light of our conscious awareness. Working with the shadow, the parts of us that we have deemed unlovable, or the parts that seem too marvelous to actually be us, requires courage. The Dark Goddess will call you when her own shadow needs healing and integration, when something is holding you back, when, when instead of acknowledging, instead, if acknowledged and brought into the light of awareness, it could actually help you move forward. Often the shadow element needs integration when the Dark Goddess is powerful in some form or another. It may be personal power, spiritual power, or your relationship power to power that needs to change for you to blossom and for life and its gifts to manifest more abundantly for you. Becoming more powerful does not necessarily mean gaining more force. More often, for advanced souls, it actually means surrendering our will into alignment with greater forces of divine will, allowing us to consciously participate in the flow of life, sensing the signs and nudges that lead us towards our greatest manifestation of soul this lifetime. Often, when we are reaching our power and defending or defining for ourselves what is to be powerful, we are confronted with the fears of loss, failure, abandonment, and rejection. Pardon me. It can be painful at times, but accepting and releasing the pain brings such deep relief and happiness to the self. It is good to confront these fears with a loving and firm approach and be open to taking risks in growing anyways. This is what Isis, as the Dark Goddess, teaches us: not to be afraid, to go into the dark places and the difficult feelings within. They may seem ugly at first, yet if we allow ourselves to go there with some conscious awareness in place, we can realize that these parts of us just need love and acceptance. And those parts that we once received, often reviled, often blossom and turn into our greatest assets in a more conscious and helpful version of themselves. We need radical trust to do the inner work and take her initiation. The dark goddess will support and nurture you through her test as she guides you to receive the gift of more of yourself. No longer shackled in fear, hidden away, but ready to be in the world with brightness and vigor, entering the inner chamber of the dark goddess. It is best to do this ritual at night or in a room where you can pull down the blinds and curtains and create a darkened physical space in which to rest. It doesn't have to be pitch black, but limited lighting will support your ritual process. You will need a small mirror and enough light to be able to just see your reflection. Sit or lay quietly in a position that is comfortable where you can be relaxed and still alert. Falling asleep, you can be healing, but the intention at least is to be responsive in this ritual healing process in a conscious state. Sitting quietly, take your awareness into your heart and feel the warmth and love and say aloud, I open in an unconditional love to my whole self and ask for healing, grace, and protection from those divine energies that love me unconditionally. Lightly hold the mirror and gaze at your reflection. Be comfortable and allow yourself to soften your gaze, but really seek to look within your own eyes from a place of love. You deserve this without question. Say to yourself in the mirror, I love you enough to meet the parts of you that have been hidden away in fear, shame, guilt, or anger. I am not afraid of you. I am sorry for any time I have pulled back from you in fear. I am here for you now and I love you completely. I want you to feel whole and loved. You deserve to feel whole and loved. Will you let me love you in this way with the help of the goddess? Place the mirror down and close your eyes, going into your heart and listening for an answer. Pardon me. If you do not feel a yes within, then use the incantation listed below instead and come back to the ritual again and again over the coming days and weeks until you do receive a yes from within your own being. Be patient, trusting, and honest. When you are ready, the healing will happen far more quickly than if you were to try and make it happen before you are ready. If you do feel a yes from within, then you continue the ritual. If you continue the ritual, say aloud 3 times, I call forth the dark goddess in her form of unconditional love, compassion, healing, and support for my own spiritual growth. Now I choose to enter your inner chamber for healing now. With your eyes closed, be aware of her presence in whatever way feels right for you, whether you just barely sense it or it is very obvious to you. No matter how strongly you can recognize her presence, she will be with you in the most suitable way for you at that moment. Perceive that you are going within your heart into a dark open space. Within that space, there is a doorway that leads to the inner chamber of the dark goddess. Imagine, sense, or feel yourself stepping through the doorway into an inner chamber. It is barely visible, but you can feel your way inside. Rest one hand on your heart. With the other hand, pick up the mirror again, holding it up holding it up to gaze softly at yourself, deep into your eyes again, and say, I love you. Please show me the parts of me that need to be brought to light now. Soften your gaze. Let your free hand rest on your heart and look deeply into your eyes. Just notice without fear or judgment whenever you may feel, think, or however you may respond to this loving attention. You may feel anger, shame, sadness, doubt, or deep grief. You may feel a flash of hatred or deep fear or anxiety. You may have many thoughts trying to distract you from reality, seeing yourself. All these responses, any response is fine. Keep your hand on your heart and stay calm and breathe. You don't have to understand, just stay with your heart and be loving enough of yourself that allow whatever surfaces to surface without believing it, disbelieving it, analyzing it, resisting it, just experiencing it, and then be in your heart again. When you are ready, gaze deeply into your own eyes in the mirror and say, I love all parts of me. I let go of shame, guilt, rage, fear, anger that would hold me back now. I release trapped energy. Now that will help me move forward in the wholeness through unconditional love of the dark goddess. When you are ready, put down the mirror, close your eyes again. Receives receive sense or intended that you are now moving further into the inner chamber of the dark goddess, now descending deeper than you ever thought you could. It becomes so dark you have no sense if there's an endless space or not much at all. And this just pure darkness, but it feels neutral and peaceful. Then you see a light. This light is beautiful and filled with love. Capturing it into your hands and placing it in your heart, feel the warmth filling your heart as your awareness now returns completely to your physical body. When you are ready, just open your eyes. Incantation of the Dark Goddess. This incantation can be repeated several times, gaining speed as you get used to the words. Feel the energy in the words as you speak aloud. You can add it to the end of the ritual or above. It is not if it is not the right time for you to complete the ritual, or you can just choose a shorter healing process and you can use it on its own anytime. It is the most effective if you take a moment to be in your heart, perhaps even placing your hand on your heart while repeating this incantation. Sublime Isis, dark and sweet, through you my hidden self I meet. I honor this self and accept. No longer do I fear, shame, or reject. You gift me with myself complete. Sublime Isis, dark and sweet. Now, there we go. That was the long Isis Oracle card for today, or whenever you find this timeless message. Remember, I love you. Isis loves you. Kuan Yin loves you. White Buffalo Calf Woman loves you. If you had a deck, I'd do that. But yeah, everything you do creates your universe. Expecting 2 feet of snow here, so who knows? But that's up tomorrow. But love you. Stay awesome.